In addition to their important contribution to the security of the Rung Sat, Pbrs operate at several other locations in the Delta. At Ben Thuy, near Canto, on the Sac River, is the headquarters for the River Patrol Force. From this command center, the activities of Operation Game Warden units throughout the Delta are coordinated. Almost everything that moves any distance in the Delta moves by water. These men, from intelligence reports and first-hand observation, keep up to date on where the VC are and what they're doing.
We don't have any support in there other than the Seawolves. We can get them for you in about 6-7 minutes. Make sure you've got your ammo checked out, your chow. Make sure you've got all your charts up to date.
The critical importance of controlling the rivers and canals is what has brought the small boat Navy to the Delta. Their job is to secure the waterways for those who are engaged in legitimate business and travel and to deny them to the Viet Cong. Like their shipmates in the coastal waters, the men of Operation Game Warden spend much of their time boarding and searching the thousands of civilian craft which crowd the inland waterways. Representatives of the Vietnamese National Police assigned to duty with the Pbrs advise their American counterparts, check documents, and interpret the objectives of Operation Game Warden to the Vietnamese people. 9 times out of 10, they're simply on their way to market or returning home. As a gesture of friendship, soap or cigarettes may be given to the people or a printed explanation of how Operation Game Warden hopes to protect and benefit them. Then the Pbrs resume their routine patrols. 9 times out of 10. But then there's the 10th time.
Warden X-ray, 1, this is Warden X-ray. I have sampan crossing up ahead. Break, I will attempt to intercept. Take off.
Warning shots fired in the air are the signal for a suspicious craft to stop and identify itself.
Warden X-ray 1, this is Warden X-ray. Seems to be heading to the beach. Take area under fire. Try for maximum results, over.
A junk or sampan that turns to run from a Pbr has something to hide. And in VC territory, the Pbrs don't take any chances.
Warden 1, Warden X-ray, over.
This is Warden 1, roger, over.
Warden 1, this is Warden X-ray. 1 sampan evaded to the beach. 2 male occupants abandoned a sampan headed up the beach. Taken area under fire. We'll amplify later, over.
This is Warden 1, roger, out.
Return fire from the riverbank indicates a larger force supporting the crossing. What looks at first like a couple of farmers or fishermen may turn out to be VC, carrying intelligence, supplies, weapons, or a sampan loaded with explosives.
Warden 1, Warden X-ray receiving heavy automatic weapons fire, vicinity of evasion. Request to scramble Seawolves, over.
This is Warden 1, roger, out. Steel Base 3, this is Warden, scramble Seawolves.
At the River Patrol Force headquarters, the request for air support is relayed to an LST downriver which serves as one of the several bases for special Navy helicopters supporting the Pbrs. These are the Seawolves, armed helicopter gunships operated by Navy pilots from LSTs and airstrips throughout the Delta. They stand by on call to provide reconnaissance or fire support for the Pbrs. Armed with machine guns and air-to-surface rockets, the Seawolves are prepared to move quickly to the scene of action. By working together, the PBR Seawolf team can deliver that extra measure of firepower which gives the edge to the small boat Navy. With nightfall, the Delta undergoes a subtle change, for the night presents a special challenge. The Viet Cong take advantage of the hours of darkness to activate their lines of communication. For the PBR crews preparing for night patrol, there is the knowledge that now is when they're most likely to encounter the VC. Again, they move out to their stations in pairs. Through the long, warm night, they maintain their vigil, either moving quietly along the river or lurking, silent and invisible, at the location of some suspected VC crossing point. Night patrols by the units of Operation Game Warden have sharply limited the mobility of the Viet Cong guerrillas in an area where they once moved almost at will. On many nights back in the dock at Ben Thuy, at about the time the PBR night patrols are arriving on station, a small band of men working silently behind the scenes is preparing to move to an undisclosed location downriver. To them, the darkness of the Delta night is an ally and a friend. These are the Navy SEAL teams, so called because they operate on sea, air, and land. The SEALs operate in hostile and restricted environments with almost no support. The intelligence they bring back is often the basis for key operations of the small boat Navy. One of the bonuses provided by the introduction of the PBRs in the Delta has been the opportunity for expanded programs for civic action. By getting to know the people in the towns and villages throughout their patrol areas, the men of the small boat Navy have become familiar with their needs and have found ways to help them. Usually it is the basic things which are important. In this case, cement and steel reinforcing rods, which will allow the villagers to complete work on a small bridge they have been building. MedCap, Medical Civic Action Patrols, are also run as regularly as possible. American and Vietnamese doctors and corpsmen hold clinics in villages which would otherwise go for months without medical treatment. This kind of attention from friendly forces is often the winning stroke against the Viet Cong.